Hey guys, we're getting ready for Christmas and I am over at my good friend Lisa Japan's house, LJ, and she is doing this famous cracker that is wonderful. It's called Hatcher Crackers. So I am going to take pictures of it and we are going to compile it and do a reel. So hang in there with us and you'll see it in a few minutes. These are so wonderful. You're going to want to do them every Christmas, every holiday, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day. I don't know. You'll want to do them all the time.
So Tina, when you make these crackers, the hardest part is the beginning, when you're trying to cook the cheese into the cracker in your oven. You cannot go answer your phone. You cannot go to the bathroom. You cannot move away from the oven. You have to be right there watching the entire time so that the cheese doesn't overcook. And once it's all finished, you take the crackers out of the oven, you dump them immediately onto a surface, wipe the pan out so you can get the cayenne pepper off the pan, and then you cut the crackers into triangles. Then you let the oven cool completely, turn it off, let it cool. Then you turn the oven back on to 150. My oven only goes down to 170, so that's what I do, 170. And you put the crackers in for 8 hours to overnight because you're letting them dry out.
Wow.
Okay? And if you open the freezer, you can pull out a sample of what they're going to look like when they're finished, if you want to show them.
Okay. That sounds great. How much cheese are you using?
12 ounces.
Okay.
And I prefer extra sharp Cracker Barrel. I suspect some people may prefer to get the already shredded cheese, but that's only sharp. It's not extra sharp. I don't know that it really makes a difference. It's just my preference. When you put your crackers in your pan, and you do want to use a non-stick pan if you can, you want those crackers nestled together as tightly as possible because you don't want the cheese as it melts to go up under the cracker. My crackers ended right here in terms of a whole cracker. So in order to fill this space here, you have to cut or break your crackers so that you can try to fill that empty space, and it's about a 1/2 inch. And that's what you do. And these can just be snacks for you after you make the crackers if you don't want to serve those.
That sounds good.
First step to making Hatcher crackers is to turn your oven to broil. And you want the rack to be on the lowest level, okay? To spice up your crackers a little and give them a little extra zing, you want to use cayenne pepper. And you lightly or more moderately sprinkle cayenne evenly over the crackers. Now I made these the other day and I was a little heavy-handed. But
they were wonderful.
But neighbors tasted them and said they were fine, so I'm gonna be a little heavy-handed here. I think this cayenne just takes it to another level.
Oh God, yes.
That sharp cheddar, extra sharp cheddar, and that little bit of zing.
I wonder if you could put some jalapenos in there too.
Maybe.
It might be a little crazy though with the pepper, the cayenne.
Well, and jalapenos, do they have any kind of liquid or moisture?
Not really if you get the fresh ones. If you use the ones out of the jar, yeah, okay. They have moisture, but.
Because one thing about Hatcher crackers, there is no moisture. There's no butter. The only ingredients are saltine, regular saltine crackers, your shredded cheese, and your cayenne pepper.
Man, these are so good you could eat them all day.
Okay guys, so now we have our Hatcher crackers assembled. We're ready to start the cooking process. And remember, it is very important that you do not walk away from this oven. I'm gonna put it on the lowest rack. The temperature is set to broil. The recipe says to leave the oven door slightly ajar, but when I do that, it turns my broiler off. So I keep it closed, but I keep a light on and I watch. And in just a few minutes, I'm gonna see the crackers start to bubble and start to melt. I let them do that for about 3 to 4 minutes. Then I turn the pan around and I leave them in for another 2 to 3 minutes while they continue to bubble and melt. Okay guys, we're taking a quick peek. These are now bubbling.
And are they supposed to get brown around the edges like that?
That's fine.
Okay. Okay, Lisa, are you getting ready to turn them?
Yep, I'm gonna turn them here in just a second, and then I'm gonna leave them in for at least 2 more minutes before I take them out to do the next step.
It's true, everybody's oven is, people don't always have consistent oven temperatures.
Right.
So you have to watch them, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm taking these out, but you're not finished. You're just into the next step. Let me close my oven so I don't lose heat. Let them sit for a second. And now you're going to take a large serving spoon and you're just going to kind of go across the pan to pop any of these air bubbles that have formed while the cheese was melting. Just kind of tap it. Okay. All right. Go in the oven for another 2 to 4 minutes. Then you're going to check them and you're going to turn them for another 2 to 4 minutes. I'm going to take them back out, Tina. They've got some more bubbles. Okay. This particular batch has a lot of bubbles, so I've just taken them out for the second time, and I'm going to mash these bubbles down, which are really just kind of grease bubbles. But you can see how my oven has cooked a lot around the edges, but that's okay.
Well, it's really important, like you said, to stand here and watch it.
Yes.
To make sure that it doesn't burn.
Right, and the key is you want as many of this greasy bubbling process, you want as many of these bubbles to go away, to stop. Once the bubbles are no longer creating or once the cheese is no longer creating all of these bubbles, then you're pretty much done with the cooking. So it probably needs another couple of minutes, and then I'll turn it probably one last time. Okay. So I just took them out. Hopefully they were cooked like they're supposed to. I'm going to let them sit for just a second. Pop some of these bubbles. You can tell how one side definitely cooked more than the other side. That could be an indication of my oven maybe doesn't cook evenly. And it may also cause these crackers to be a little bit bitter, but you know, you do what you gotta do.
We'll give them to the guys.
That's right. Okay. I'm gonna lift these as much as I can with my spatula because I'm about to dump them face down, that means cheese side down, onto my countertop. Now this is also very important. This step is a fast moving step. After I dump them cheese side down, I am going to ask Tina in just a minute if she would wipe out that pan and get all that excess off while I take these and put them under this little cooking board here. I am going to cut these into triangles, and you have to do it fast.
I wonder if a pizza cutter would help.
I used that the other day, and it did okay. I can try it again. I think this is just cheese that has scorched.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, Tina, did you finish? Are you still filming?